In AD 1997, change was beginning. Final Fantasy VII came down from the heavens, complete with one winged angelic choir, and jump-started an appreciation of RPGs that had started on the SNES and jumped ship with Square to the PlayStation. It was monumental. But we're not here to talk about that game. Enough's been said already. We're here to talk about Ehrgeiz. And God bless this review, because I think it's going to need it. Go! There are 3 primary game modes in Ehrgeiz. A 3D fighter reminiscent of Tobal or Tekken, a dungeon crawl adventure that plays like a more boring Diablo, and some mini-games which are as inscrutable as they are pointless. I suppose they're good for killing a couple minutes or watching Sephiroth run around on a beach. The reverse-y-like panel battle game is kinda fun, but quick, get the sword out, I want to cut Cloud's head off. Thus, onto the fighting game mode. You've got a slew of original faces, most of whom look ripped off from Tekken, and some Final Fantasy VII characters who everyone uses because look at the size of those swords. You punch, kick, and meteor your way through the field over varied and sometimes destructible terrain. Standard fighting game stuff, really. The execution itself is so devoid of flair and the controls such a pain in the materia that even the inclusion of half the cast of one of the biggest RPGs ever is its only saving grace. More often than not, it's a matter of who can pin whom in the corner and spam a low attack. And that's not fun. That's anti-fun. Finally, the dungeon crawl. Following the story of 2 archaeologists who come upon a delicious underground ruin, you descend through level after level of bad guys, stopping only to deal in wine futures and eat a balanced diet. Occasionally, you'll find a shrine to a god where you can offer a sacrifice and waste time and resources in hope of a power-up. The odds, however, are not in your favor. Fall to the inexplicable hordes, and your partner will have to come down to resuscitate you. You're welcome to read that as you have to do twice the grinding for the same level of achievement, because that's how it comes off. As opposed to, say, Brave Fencer Musashi, which was truly an action game with just a dash of RPG mechanics. The dungeon mode in Ehrgeiz quantifies everything down to the nutritional value of the food you eat, while leaving you to flail through the dungeon with fairly janky controls and a difficulty curve that might as well be a difficulty wall. I'll admit, Ehrgeiz was one of the first games I picked up for my PlayStation however many years ago. I was enamored with the idea of kicking butt with Sephiroth, for crying out loud. It was worth it. Well, that was then. Now, however many years later, I can look back and say, kid, calm down. The mechanics are shaky, the computer's as cheesy as a Wisconsin wedding, and there are much better dungeon crawls to be had. Just you wait and see. And then I go back to playing Final Fantasy VII, because damn if it doesn't get me all nostalgic.